got almost a half a lap lead right now, Paul.
22-second lead. Al Unser Jr. on the second place car of Emerson Fittipaldi. All of the top 5 are running separate from one another. They're each driving their own race as little Al just goes over the halfway point halfway through this race. Now, the second place car is Emerson Fittipaldi. He is a 2-time world driving champion, driving for the Patrick Racing Team. He was retired from Formula One driving. He came back into the Indy cars, and he's very, very happy with what he's doing as we continue to watch our leader. Little Al, there's a former world driving champion, the defending kart champion, as he walks away.
You know, you notice with Mario today, he's more relaxed. When we see him fall out of a race or have bad luck, usually he's very dejected and very bad mood. And he looks like he's in a fairly good mood today, so he probably feels that he couldn't help what happened.
Yeah, I suspect he's very philosophical. It looked like the front brakes just locked in his accident, and that's more lady luck than it is anything else. He tried desperately to save it, but Rahal was right there in proper racing position trying to tell him, and smacked the back end, forcing Mario into Jeff Brabham.
Unfortunately, we lost 2 of our best drivers, and in a way, we lost our camera car to some degree with Jeff Brabham.
Now, wait till I tell your nephew, who's currently winning, that you said that.
He's done a good job, and of course, nothing would make me any happier than to see Al Jr. win it today, and he's going to be extra careful. His crew has been coming on strong. You know, it takes a little while when you join a new crew to get the driver and the mechanics and the car owner and everybody all working together, and I've seen this team really starting to rebound, come along good.
They did a very nice thing yesterday. One driver conspicuous by his absence here is Roberto Guerrero, who started out in his primary car, had some fast laps, was going to sit up in the front of the field, and spun the car, wrecked it. Too severely damaged in the qualifying practice to make it into the race. He jumped right into the backup car, didn't make that, and then Doug Shearson seriously considered whether or not they could provide a car for Guerrero to run. They finally decided against it. There's the second place car. Emerson Fittipaldi, we talked about him just a few moments ago, 2-time world driving champion. He loves racing these cars.
Oh, he does, and I'm going to tell you, Emerson is not only one heck of a good race driver, but he's also a very nice person, and he's tough. He's just plain a good race driver, and when he retired and came back, it's been a long road, but you have to take your hat off to the guy.
He is also a very young man at spirit. We were at a disco in New York in Manhattan just the other night. Visage, he was dancing with his wife, Teresa, having a marvelous time. Now he's out here and giving it a go. Let's go down to the pits now. In the Andretti pits, here's Gary Gerald.
Paul, in sharp contrast to all the dancing and the fun the other night in the disco at Visage, here's Carl Haas now with a driver and a car out of the race, and this is the first time that real misfortune has struck this team this year. How bitter a pill is that, Carl?
Well, we feel bad about it. You know, it looked like Danny Sullivan dropped back, and we're chasing him in the points race. You know, we're leading it. It would have been nice to win this one and get a big gain. It feels bad right now. We haven't seen Mario yet or the car, how bad it is, but we'll see what happens and go on to the next one.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you 3 weeks at Michigan, and you've been a winner there in the past, and I know your team will be ready to go for another one in the 500.
Thank you very much.
Carl Haas, car owner, along with Paul Newman of Mario Andretti's machine.
Carl Haas, one of the 2 owners on that crew, and there is his driver, Mario Andretti, with some fans to walk along, offer him a cold drink, and commiserate just a bit to what has to be a saddened Andretti. The first really bad piece of luck he's had this season. Back to the leader, Al Unser Jr. He's your nephew, Bobby, and let's go back and take a look at how this situation developed that really brought Al up to the lead. Now, remember, it was Mario Andretti leading the race. This is Jeff Brabham, who was just in front of Andretti. That's your brother Al off to the right there. The accident's happening behind him now. Now he's hit, and he spins into the wall, touches it with the nose. If we could look to the left, Andretti was sitting just to the left of him. That's how the accident looked from Jeff Brabham.
It kind of looks like maybe Al pulled down on him, but he really didn't. All of it was in back. But I think it's a terribly good shot with the camera deal. It's the first time we've seen a car spin with our camera in it, as far as I can remember.
Well, that camera certainly appears to be working. We're proud of it. It's tough to work. There is the 3rd place car at the moment. That's your brother, Al, and he's doing a nice job.
Well, he's up near the front. Al is currently very fast, running in 4th place, and I know that little Al's probably wondering where Daddy is.
Car off the course. Jacques Villeneuve off of the second turn there. Quick spin. And, of course, the right front wheel damaged the left front, so the race is over for Jacques Villeneuve, who was running very well, had moved up to 4th place with all of this scrambling in the past few moments, and was only about 50 seconds behind the leader, so he was certainly in the fight.
Well, this is Canada's best, and we all feel sorry for Jack. He's a very good road race driver. He's not very good on circle tracks yet, but he does a super job on the road circuit, so I know Canada has to be very sad.
A man that's been under a great deal of pressure from the folks at Formula One because he has his IndyCar ride, but he sure seems to be enjoying it. Al Unser Jr. is our leader. 2nd place is Emerson Fittipaldi. Al's father is currently riding in 3rd place. Bruno Giacomelli sits in 5th place. So little Al out in front, driving a whale of a race, looking for his 2nd victory in kart.
You know, he's been running about 27 seconds in front of Emerson Fittipaldi. Now, I know that he's probably just sitting there trying not to hurt the car and yet keep that big buffer in case they make a mistake in the pits or whatever. It could be a yellow flag, could be on the track. He's got a nice, comfortable lead right now.
Top 5 cars in this race have all been running right together, but now a fight appears to be developing between Bruno Giacomelli and your brother. We'll keep an eye on that. Should it really develop, we'll be right to it as we watch the leader, Al Unser Jr.
You know, as you watch him go around, Paul, each lap I've been watching the TV monitor and watching him on the racetrack. Every lap he hits that track in exactly the same place. He doesn't miss over 6 inches on any turn in any lap. Now, that's the sign that he's not tired. He's got a lot of confidence. He's taking care of everything.
He's young, he's strong, and he's good. We should definitely say that while this is the joy of a beautiful weekend in the New York area, we, of course, are continuing our concern for the fate of those over in the Middle East. NBC News is on top of that situation, and should anything develop, we'll go right there. We continue to watch our leader, the Domino's Hot One, Al Unser Jr.
Well, there's Emerson Fittipaldi right behind. Well, he's not right behind. He's 27 seconds behind, but Emerson's pressing hard. But remember, he's not going to run his car, I don't think, any harder than he has to. He's probably hoping little Al's going to have some problems down the road.
Emerson Fittipaldi, he's won a lot of races with just that particular technique, going nice and slow, relatively, keeping the car together. Let's go down to Emerson Fittipaldi's pits. Gary Gerald.
Well, Paul, there's a complicating factor now for Emerson Fittipaldi. We've just been informed by the crew that Emerson has radioed in that he has some type of a handling problem that he thinks relates to the steering system. They aren't sure yet whether or not he's going to have to come in before the scheduled 2nd stop. That's what they're waiting to see right now. So there is a potential trouble spot, at least a bothersome problem for Emerson Fittipaldi.
That's an interesting point with Emerson Fittipaldi. The 57 car has got itself a problem as Randy Lanier out of Florida wasn't really running up near the front of the race at any time, but was running 16th when apparently something let go in the back of the car.
Yeah, it would appear an engine problem with him.
So there is our leader, Al Unser Jr. We'll talk in just a moment about Emerson Fittipaldi and the possibility of his problems. Fittipaldi 2nd, Bruno Giacomelli in 3rd. We'll be back to the Meadowlands after this. Floats in the lazy, hazy summer skies over New Jersey, over the Meadowlands, where we are now 58 laps of 100 complete. And this is the 2nd place car, Emerson Fittipaldi. Gary Gerald just reported some kind of handling problem not related to suspension. Now, Bobby Unser, as we look at the facts here on Emerson Fittipaldi this year, he is driving a March. So was Danny Sullivan at Portland. And suddenly the steering rack, where the steering wheel connects to the front wheels, gave way and pulled out, keeping him from steering. Is that possibly a design fault that they might be dealing with that might now be affecting Fittipaldi?
I doubt it seriously. Emerson is really not slowing down very much, if any at all. And he's complaining about handling problem, but I think what he's doing is getting the pit crew ready to make an adjustment in there. Emerson doesn't have as many years with the Indy cars as a lot of the guys do, because he probably doesn't realize whether he should be worried about the problem or just continue driving through it.
Bruno Giacomelli, currently running in 3rd place, closes right up behind Emerson Fittipaldi, and your brother Big Al, currently running in the 4th place, is sitting right behind them. So there is the fight on the race course, and there goes Big Al challenging Bruno Giacomelli, and he moves around. That's the Jim Crawford machine running as a back marker, and look at Al move out. Almost got it.
Almost got it. He might have clipped the wing right there. It was so close. That was a good pass by Al. Real good pass. Al's really coming on strong. Look at him go now.
Well, you know, we tend to think of him because of his 3 Indianapolis victories as an oval driver, but he's pretty competent on the road courses.
No, Al's always been every bit as good on the road circuit as he has been on a long track.